revenge by startling them back.
I know we did. Ivar. No, I was in Seattle and I saw Ivar's Chowder.
It's such a good chowder place.
Damn.
Like I didn't go there because my kids have dietary things, but I was like, I took a picture. I'm like, ooh,
It must be remembered.
Oh, but if it's Ivar's chowder, like Ivar, I wouldn't eat that.
like Ivar Chowder. Like,
Right, no, but I'm saying, yeah, I wouldn't eat that because you know where that chowder came from.
yeah, it's a chowder from down under.
Yeah.
There we go. Switch this quickly as well so I can pop my stuff in. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, I actually got my shit together to be able to stream. I'm going to kill off this. Wrong settings here, bub. There. There we go. I don't have the background noise or any of the other stuff. It's going to sound juicy. You guys can hear me, yeah? I'll get you pulled over. This part got done right. You can hear me, it seems. We'll figure. Let's do this. And properties over here. We got that one good. And they're talking, and I can't hear them. Hi. They're right.
D, are you muted?
I'm not muted, no.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Got it all sorted out. There's just been a big crisscross of audio stuff that happened just now. Gotta love it. I had to set some stuff up inside of OBS, and then I was just sort of like, oh yeah, and then I had to tweak it in Discord. And all that fun business.
Oh,
you know my
speaking of
taste.
Ivar,
Surprise me.
I don't
Drew just
know
second.
I like noodles, and I like basic vegetables.
Oh, that's such a great picture.
Oh my goodness.
I love that picture, by the way.
Which picture?
Drew just sent me a picture of my wife and daughter from like 10 years ago.
It's
Damn.
adorable. Like it's just
It is adorable.
Oh man, people are
But I'm
popping
like-
off.
Why do you have that picture?
Dude, he takes
Yeah.
pictures of everything.
He does.
he does. He chronicles the life of us all.
We got one of those like
Mr. Live.
photo frame like that you can send, like you can email pictures to or whatever, and it just goes. We had gotten one for my parents and then for my in-laws, and then we were like, well, we should get one for ourselves. And so I got it for my wife for Mother's Day, and then I loaded a ton of pictures in it. It is a trap. I will be just like doing dishes in the kitchen, and a picture will pop up, and I'll just be stuck for like 20 minutes just watching pictures
Yeah,
from the last
so-
20 years of my life just go by.
So we did that for my folks, right? And I continue to upload pictures to it. So it's in there, and so I do the same thing. I do dishes. And I'm going like, Corin's hair used to be so long.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh dude, do you remember the pictures of Corin where he had
Pearls.
fairy tale ringlets?
Yeah.
Oh, my bald self can't stand it.
What is this?
Oh, it's so awful.
That one? Cool. I'm lucky that I have a daughter who decides that she's going to buy me ramen from a really good ramen place in town for dinner.
Ramen.
I love ramen. There's a new ramen place that just opened up within walking distance from my house, and I have not decided if that is a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh, it's a
I
good
mean,
thing.
of course, it's a good thing.
Given previous conversations, just work out and it becomes a good thing, right?
I mean, like if I'm walking there, right?
Yeah.
If I walk a half mile there, eat
And you have the ramen, and then walk a half
20,000
mile
milligrams of sodium, walk back, then I'm fine.
You're fine. I think that's okay. Like, we all validate that.
I wish that was a really hardcore exaggeration about how much you're eating, but it kind of isn't. 20,000 milligrams.
Just like
Yeah.
Did you say 20,000?
Yeah, he said 20,000 milligrams of sodium.
Taco salad. Taco salad has 250 calories. It's a salad, so it's healthy. Anyway.
I think I am going to employ. I don't know if this can even. It's kind of visible. Look at that.
oh, that's
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a triangle.
It's a dice.
It's a die.
guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of hard with the lighting that I got in here. If I hold it just right, it can almost be visible. It's not. It's a little bit bleached, but you can kind of see it. But I'm not going to do physical dice because I just didn't want to drag it out. But I mean, it can work like that, so I can prove my rolls.
All digital, brother.
So
I got
you
a
have
10.
You have another mechanism with which you could hate us.
Hey man, it might actually protect you guys. Who knows?
I just used my big D20.
You gotta. I'm sorry, Scott. Did you have to use that big D energy with us?
Indeed. Okay, here's the thing that
That was a good one.
Was a side effect? What the hell?
Well, actually, dude, that's probably because of the extra, just shedding it off. Because you definitely have more of your chin showing. You're looking strapped, my man.
Well, I mean, thank you. Yes, that helps. But I had to ask my doctor. I was like, "It's not supposed to do stuff, right?" And she was like, "It's all about blood flow."
Yeah. Yes.
Which is why my face is slightly red all the time now, but it pays off. So,
I mean, yeah, for sure. All right.
Shall we do our recap?
Yeah, Secretary, do you want to set us off on the right task here?
Well, I decided to use some AI as we do with since we haven't talked about this game in a little while. I want to give 2 sessions worth of recaps, and so I asked it to be a little dramatic for us. So
I'm kidding.
last time on Shadows. In the grim depths of Night City, our trio of unlikely allies plunged deeper into a web of biotech horrors, corporate secrets, and black market war zones. After surviving a brutal ambush in the haunted ruins of the Weston House Asylum, the crew uncovered disturbing truths. Hellcrest and Hyde Dynamite had both run twisted experiments within those walls, leaving behind cyberflesh monstrosities and shattered minds.
Cyberflesh.
One name surfaced again and again: Douglas Winston, the deranged leader of the Wing Wards. What are you doing? Oh my god, are those dice?
Yeah.
Of course they are.
So, the deranged leader of the Wing Wards. Once a patient of the asylum, and now a psychotic warlord with backing far beyond street gang budgets. Following the trail, Gideon's transformation into his Forge Fang form shook the team, revealing just how deep Cerberus Security's claws still run in him. James Gordonson's reclaimed his stolen mech companion, Judo, with style and chaos, barreling through an impound lot in a blaze of K-pop and burning rubber. Meanwhile, Kay dug through the asylum surveillance, discovering a team of operatives who stormed the facility, looted it with surgical precision, and left Douglas behind on purpose. Someone is playing a deeper game, and it smells like Hellcrest. Now, with the data in hand and a plan forming, the team set their sights on the next big target, a heavily fortified warehouse, suspected to be a Wing Ward stronghold, or worse, a staging ground for something darker. Stealth drones hover silently above. Lethal security rigs stand ready. Encrypted comms hum with secrets. And in the crow's nest, 10 heavily combat units await. With Judo deployed, the crew descended into the labyrinth, Night City's forgotten underbelly, mapping the understructure and hacking into the warehouse systems from below. They've pinpointed a weakness, an infiltration point, and a likely treasure trove of stolen tech, and maybe answers. Tonight, will we breach the crow's nest? Will we survive the elite security teams and cover what Douglas Winston has and his mysterious benefactors are truly planning? One wrong move and Night City might never hear from us again. This is Shadows.
Well,
I
mean-
the thing.
Well, goddamn.
That's
Oh, shit.
That's definitely a lot. That's a lot better than like you're just reading off itemized lists.
I thought I'll just punch it up a little bit.
Fight you. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Thank you, Duke.
So, what I'd done to
I
prepare
love
for
this
that
job.
is the last 11 episodes of notes that I've taken. I've fed that all into one memory of ChatGPT, and I was like, okay, I just need a recap of this, but punch it up like a recap from DBZ.
Oh, that's the vibe.
Yeah, it is the vibe.
Last time on Shadows.
Yeah, except for the
Dragon
difference
Ball
between
Z.
this and DBZ is that last episode in DBZ, like, and now the continuation. Like,
I'm charging up my laser.
The planet will be
Last time
destroyed
on
in,
DBZ, we're screaming.
5 minutes.
This episode on DBZ, we're screaming still. Next episode on DBZ,
it's
You got
over
it.
9,000. Yeah.
Can I tell you, my children all lost their shit when we were driving around in Oahu, and we get on the Kamehameha Highway. They're like,
Oh, they've got they've gotten one in Oahu as well.
from the back seat, all I hear is this Kame. Like they're all just. I was like, yes, he was the king who united the Hawaiian Islands. Yes, King Kamehameha was a real person. Like man.
Well, it's no different. Like my sister, who actually used to live in Maui until very shortly recently, she was like, what's our state fish? And I'm like, humu humu nuku nuku abu a. Yeah, and she's like, how do you know that? And it's just like literally the Joker from a fighting game.
Absolutely. It's also known as the triggerfish. We saw one.
Say the
We saw
triggerfish?
one. Nuku-nuku-wapua.
Yeah. I love how they just pronounce all their damn vowels independently.
I
Anyway,
learned it from the song. Hey,
Hawaiian or you're Welsh.
Oh my gosh, that would be a fun mashup. There's a Welsh population in like Argentina, but
well, I mean, gotta mix it up, I guess.
here, this is a Huma Huma Nuku Nuku Apua that I took with my camera underwater. Maybe.
Let's open up that chat and see.
There we go. You can totally see it. That's my.
It looks
cell phone
glorious.
camera.
It's just,
It's a shadow.
that's impressive. I love it.
I send my kids all these pictures from the underwater camera, right? I'm just like sending them these pictures. They're like, "Oh my gosh, it looks so great!" And then I send them this picture. I was like, "Wait, what?" And they're like,
It's dude. It's Godzilla.
That's good parenting.
"That is good parent." And then I sent
that's
them this one, and then they all got mad at me.
What?
That's the
Isn't that Subnautica?
Leviathan from Subnautica. If
Yeah.
you see one, you're already dead.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So-
And we got to do that for next episode. That podcast AI thing where it's like two people having a conversation.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
I'll feed it all of our notes, and then just like have two people talking like in a news report kind of way.
We're here at the
Thanks
Night
for
City
being on
News
Shadows.
channel, and I just heard about.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that.
That was fun.
Well, like I said, it's definitely a lot better than just reading straight off a bulleted list.
Yeah, that's true. I figured that you'd enjoy the narrative flair because it covers all the things that literally happened, just in a more entertaining way.
My dice fell off.
Like,
we are in the underground, so
This is a 3D printed thing.
Oh, that's cool.
I gave
Yeah,
Drew
well-
something equivalent to that one year.
All the dice. It's very cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys were trying to strategize means of entry. Oh, man.
Yeah,
You guys talking about
we
ramen
decided-
dice? Yeah, hell yes.
and then we had decided the underground.
So, yeah, we were deciding on strategy and how to breach the warehouse. Let's get this set properly here so it doesn't look like we're sitting in the Nintendo loading screen.
Oh, you don't want the music?
Music changed. Okay. Sir Bill, have you departed to go fetch yourself some beverage?
I'm present.
No, I can't. I've not been able to hear the music like for.
Not hearing you. So basically, we had gone to the underground because we had agreed that it was strategically the best way to breach the target. Yeah. But we realized that the underground was a little bit more complex than we had originally.
That's right, you guys were going to go underneath and try to push your way upward afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, we accomplished that part.
Yep.
Like we got in, and our next goal was to attack the crow's nest, which had 10 heavily like kitted combat units.
Yeah.
But we do have
Well,
judo,
not
and
even
we do
just
have
that.
our-
The fact that there was actually a clandestine drone just hovering in midair, watching everything. Nobody knows exactly who it was actually party to, because it could just be there as an observation point, or it could be there as something else. But either way, too many variables, too unlikely to run into problems if you were to go by surface. So underground we
Right.
went. That is for sure. What was the last stopping point right beforehand? Because I know that we actually did clear through some of the tunneling into other areas. There were actually some people that you actually encountered down in the below areas there, and then there was maintenance shafts and maintenance areas that you encountered as well.
Well, so the last thing that we encountered, or the last thing we did last time, was we'd gotten right under the building, and Judo actually like hacked the system and got direct access.
Yep.
The only thing she couldn't get access to is encrypted communication. And Judo was able to find a location that seemed a good location to attack, which was the crow's nest. So that's, I think, our next, or what was going to be our next kind of target.
If you guys recall, you guys could hear a lot of the background conversation there, Scott, so that's probably what you heard. So you were just imprinting it. Yep.
Yes. Oh my god. I was like, what was that note?
Yeah, it's sort of like, what's this note I left over here? He did no things to you. Like, did he smell
That
you
was golden
too
turds.
hard?
Yes. Okay. That makes more sense now.
Yeah.
We
All
had
right.
the silliest last week.
So, all things considered, yes, she hacked into the system, was able to get to a certain, certain amount of clearance into it. I believe she was going to stipulate that you guys only had a certain amount of time to operate without having problems, because this place is, secured with its own electronic and digital security system. But you would be able to at least, get in through a breach that would go through the floor and from the inside of the warehouse itself. And so you guys were kind of lucky at that point and skirting the outer perimeter, since most people would not know how to actually get here from underneath.
Right. So I figure we only have a little bit of time to execute before the rest of the guards get alerted to our presence.
Yep. So, not much left of the hallway. I do believe this was a kind of a tight fit. You were going to let Judo come up from behind, right? While she was
That sounds
basically
great.
she was working the console, and you guys were going to head up and then go up first, and then she was going to be your rear guard, at least for the time being.
Gordonson's right in judo, so yeah.
Yeah, bring you up just a hair. Okay, that's that then. You guys are still in the dank tunnel, surrounded by all the electrical and piping that you would ever want to see in your whole life. You have to push through down the hallway to where you have the floor access, which is going to be directly above with a short ladder upward. Not really sure exactly where this will pop open within the warehouse, or if the actual doorway is obstructed or not. I will let you guys figure out how you wish to proceed.
I mean, I'm gonna pop up and first see if it opens, right? Like not just burst it open, right? Just like test it to see if it turns and it opens, and then I'm gonna see if I can peek.
Okay.
Through.
Okay, so you go up the rungs of the ladder. You push on the hatch to raise it up just to get a little bit of an eyesight view from the floor upward, and you start peering around. Now, it's relatively dark from where you've come through, and there isn't a lot of noise either. So you're probably coming up in some space that is not either heavily guarded or there's not a lot of traffic that comes through here. And if you recall, the warehouse itself will be fairly busy. Yeah. If you ever want like reference to probably like Judo's favorite song if she ever gets going, this would definitely be it. Oh. He's asking if we could start over. I can give you some context, actually. Come to think of it. So, the premise behind what's happening here is that we have a cybernetically enhanced, but also it's cybernetic and alchemically enhanced werewolf called a Forge Fang. That would be Scott.
That's Scott.
Yep. And he is currently on a mission to discover, because Hellcrest, the corporation that is running a lot of this stuff, but he's Hellcrest is his primary creator, but he's on basically security loan to other corporations. Well, one of these corporations is interested in figuring all out what happened with this heist. The heist itself has something that they are not told about, the contents of which are extremely valuable. So, thanks, Melf. But so he was put on this heist to figure out who stole it and to get back the merchandise. Not told what was actually in the crate or any part of what the merchandise actually was. We have Bill's character who's playing Gordonson, who is an unfortunate, just regular old-fashioned human who has been heavily traumatized due to major encounters with the supernatural, and now is investigating this crime, though he's suspended for acting out. His police, his current precinct is not terribly happy with him, but he is absolutely and utterly obsessed with the idea of preventing crime, or at least helping people out, because he's probably one of the few, I would say, curmudgeon-y do-gooders that Shadows in Night City or the rest of this even has left. And then lastly, we have Kay, who's involved as a mercenary who basically works for money, but is now heavily involved with the other two, trying to sort out the situation and get cash money. Because this is life and this is how he works it. But things have gotten interesting. And they've been following this trail of a crazy person and a gang. And so far, Douglas Winston, this crazy person who is so terrifying that his own gang members would actually rather, self-delete than actually get involved with going against him. And they keep finding these leads, and they keep diminishing. So this is the third lead, this warehouse that they're investigating now. The most heavily guarded, most active aspect of the Wing Wards, which is this gang that Douglas created. And it turns out that he has this as a sort of a impromptu love letter to his previous element, or his previous stay at an insane asylum where he actually took over the Northern Ward. And so they were called the North Ward, or the Wing Wardens, or North Wing Wardens, and so he shortened it up. But now they're pretty sure that major corporations are backing him because he was just allowed to escape after things went really sideways and the asylums was shut down. So they're trying to find anything they can, and this warehouse that they're trying to break into is the last vestige point. So they're trying to figure this all out. And it was covered by heavy troops, 10 heavy militant-like rigs, and lots of personnel. So they're trying to be smart and not just go face first, full barbarian and everything. That's roughly the standpoint right now. So we're... Yeah.
Yes.
Kay's got a visual on the inside of this room. It looks like it probably is a small maintenance chamber or something like that, where they keep some equipment or older material. But it's a little difficult to see. I don't remember. Did you actually get any kind of like visual enhancements? Are you able to see like night vision, anything in the dark?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Kay's a cyborg too.
I'm a cyborg. I've got spectra vision, so I've got low light.
Oh, yeah.
Low light vision.
Yeah, you basically can peer around and look at things. Now, there are multiple crates that line the walls. Most of it is kind of mishmash. This seems to be kind of a maintenance closet, most likely. There are a lot of different things in here from, just kind of debris or cleaning supplies. There's even a sink. It just kind of looks like it's an overall triage point that's in the warehouse. But you can hear a lot of the activity when you kind of pull the hatch open further. When you push it open further, there's a lot more sound that's coming from the rest of it, because you can hear the vehicles, the mechanical arms, you can hear people talking. It's a lot more muffled, but you're able to hear it. So wherever these people are, they're at a certain distance that, they're not actively close to this room. But you also recall that the office that is hovering in the far back corner, from what you guys have been able to suss out, that is still your target, and you're going to have to break through. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you guys had a mad rush kind of idea where you would more or less charge in as hard as possible, send whoever it is that you could possibly get to that point, retrieve the data, and then pull back out again as quickly as you could. Because this was supposed to be a smash and grab, not a long-winded campaign to slaughter everybody and walk out alive.
Yeah, I don't think we could.
Well, they just get after us, yeah.
Yeah. So, when you push it up the rest of the way, you emerge into the same room. It's clear for now. There's nobody in this place at the moment. There doesn't look to be any kind of security cameras. You're not getting any kind of pings that there are, any kind of active security elements in this particular space.
Okay, so I'll fully enter the room at this point.
Yeah. So, from down below, Kay pushes up a little bit, scans the area, comes back up into that room, and then more or less assesses it. You can hear him basically, he does the whole clear from quiet enough, but loud enough everybody can hear it. So the room seems to be empty, at least for the time being.
But I can come up in a stealthy way, but Judo less.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of interesting. Judo is going to have a little more trouble getting up this hatch that is more man-sized than not. Because she's quite a bit broader. She can fit down the hallway, but she can't get up through the hole there.
We might not be able to use her.
Or you just basically put her on standby and you can blast through the floor and have her come up as a Hail Mary.
Well, that's what I mean. We can't use her until shit hits the fan.
So
Yeah, so if you pop up, and I'll come up after you and take a little, hide behind something, whatever. So not an
Judo's
obvious.
just trying to get into the door frame.
Yeah, because you have to climb up the ladder to get through the floor hatch that's up top.
How do you? I don't know what the word is. How do you dock in? The front lifts up, right?
Well, it's actually that kind of pops open and down, so he can get down and out, and then she can close back up again.
Meaning, you come in from the front, right? So she could be facing the doorway, and let you out. You don't have to come
Yeah,
in from
that's
the
if
back.
she can get up through the floor hatch, though, because like I said, the floor hatch is
I
sized
just
for
mean-
people.
I mean, you can exit out and jump back in.
Yeah, he can do that.
Can Judo get through the dimensions?
Not without causing a lot of noise or breaking through it or using an ordnance of some kind. She's too big.
It's like Judo.
The K-pop mecha. She's like,
It's like
yes, sir! Yep.
in the background. And he goes, guard this position.
It salutes like this, and she's just sort of like, "Yes, sir," like that, and basically lets you get out.
In the background, you hear the dun 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 dun. He's climbing up the ladder, going.
Yeah,
Because he can't get it out of his
Get
head.
that earworm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got it. Anyway.
All right, so all of you are now in this smaller room. The ceiling is fairly high. It allows for like maybe floor to ceiling, 20 feet or so. But it's large enough that everybody can fit in here. There are certain crates that are kind of in the way, but nothing obstructed the actual hatch. What was that about, Bill?
What you rolling there?
That was
What are you critting on?
Yeah, what are you critting on?
Investigation?
investigation
It's always investigation. What is it with this fool?
of I don't know.
Did Dice Maiden get upgraded? That looks
Oh,
different.
game dice on
That is
now.
Dice Maiden, and it just looks like a die now, as opposed to just being the weird emblem.
29. So 29 investigation when he gets up there.
Well, the room itself has nothing remarkable in it. It's just crates full of probably old product, and most of them are. There are some cleaning supplies, the sinks, everything else that goes along with what you'd expect for maintenance. There's lockers in here as well, but they haven't been used in a while. So it's just kind of a storage space for some of the intermediary things that they own. There's even a powered down rig that's just sitting in a chair. It kind of gives you a little bit of a jump, but it doesn't react because it's got no power in it. But it's just sitting there. It's one of the like heavy lifting rigs where it's usually used to move crates and things move around like that. But that's about it. What does get to be interesting is the way out of here. You happen to notice that this room is not fitted with any particular doorknob from the doorway, and it is also magnetically sealed, and it seems that there is some way to probably open it, but it's not obvious from this side.
It is totally against OSHA.
Well, if
Okay,
there's...
and then our target being the crow's nest is out of this room.
It is out of this room. The reason why they have it like this is because if they stored rigs in here, they would not want the rigs to be able to suddenly spontaneously get out on their own.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So getting out of here would basic tech apply.
All right, well, you can roll a basic tech. You can see if you can't, get around it.
Well, I might be better suited.
Go for it.
this.
Do it. You guys can roll it together. There's no reason why you can't.
I've got cybernetics.
Yeah.
I've got interface.
That'll be good if you're actually working with a console or a terminal. So,
Is there a console or terminal? we can
not
use?
on this side, no.
Well, damn. Never mind then. I can't help. I've got engineering, cybernetics. Yeah.
5. No, 15.
I was gonna say 5. How did you pull that off? -10.
15 basic tech.
Okay. So, that being the case, your guess is that there will be some kind of either security pad or some way to unlock this door. Given the fact that it is maintenance and not high priority, the requirement that you'll need to get through it won't be that harsh. There's also a good chance that a lot of the sound and noise from the other side is going to obstruct it, but you could probably get to the back wiring through the wall with a little bit of help. I think. Wait, do one of you have a multi-tool? I could have sworn you did.
No, I did a basic security check of 18, by the way.
Right.
That.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out the fact you guys have tools, because if you have tools, you might be able to circumvent some of this and actually hack it from the backside.
I would say my guess is that Kay has something.
Yeah, some cybernetic
I don't have
magic
a-
there, Kay.
Well, I don't have a multi-tool, but I've got my normal port.
You got your zap fist.
Well, yeah, my jolt fist.
Oh.
But that seems more low tech.
Short out the system. I don't know.
So, actually, what's funny is that with that fist, if he's actually able to hit it just right, and it doesn't actually hit the grounding, it does have to pop loose. It is a magnetic door. It still has to follow the features of being able to open or at least drop its seal. in case of an emergency. So his Zap Fist actually might have some relevance here.
Huh. I was going to ask if Judo, who had hacked the system, could like unlock doors for us.
Looks like this one's closed circuit.
Oh well, then
that's why she didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Also, Judo's down the ladder.
Yeah, she's down underneath.
Yeah,
she would still be able to have access to the console that's like break you guys loose if need be. But like I said, this is off circuit, so it's a closed circuit room.
All right, I'm gonna give it a whack.
Okay. Well, and with your 18 like security there, Bill, you can actually help him indicate where he's going to want to strike this.
It's like, before we do that, can you do me a favor? Hit it. And he points on the just tap 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 here. Hit it right here. You understand me? Hit it.
Oh yeah.
Right here.
Well, what I'll probably do is like mark it in some way.
Little
Like
inscribe.
scratch it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you don't even have to like smack it. You just have to discharge your fist. You just put a
Oh,
little
I
bit of
thought-
pressure and go like that. That's
well,
what it's
then
like.
that worked.
Yeah, because you're making contact with something. The way that it works, just discharges whenever it makes contact. But let's see if it gets there. Ooh.
Do I just do a melee roll then?
What's the class? You don't even have to do it necessarily like that. I'm curious. Your fist. Can you go through its description real quick? Because I believe it's given like a certain quality or class, if I'm not mistaken.
It uses 2 energy for my cyborg, and it gives +2 to melee or martial arts attacks. It acts as a stun baton, and it gives a penalty to rolls. That's what I have written.
So we're gonna have to make this up just a little bit as we go along. I'm gonna say that it's probably fairly high quality with all the stuff that it can do right there. I'm gonna play with your power distribution a little bit. Can you I want you to make a body essence check for me, because what's going to happen is that I'm going to have you forcibly overload your fist by putting too much power into it to cause it to short the door out.
It is 100% in line with how cyborgs were designed in this game.
Yeah.
You're gonna overclock your finger.
Yeah. He's gonna like he's gonna up the capacitive energy output and then just see if he can't knock the door loose.
I was just adding that little note to the description.
God damn it, Bill.
What is multi discharge? Okay, body essence check. Come on. Okay, so it's 5d10, target 8. What's our target?
Target's 8. I haven't given you anything different, so that's what you're working with. Okay.
Well, I was just asked. Yeah, target 8, and then fail 1, explode 10. Body essence check.
Oh, flat 0.
Well, actually, no. The re-roll was the 1. It looks like, so that's got 1 success.
7, 7, 4, 2, 1, 10. No, you had 0.
Well, the problem is that it does it in order from.
Well, that actually makes it easier, because if you look at it, it's 10, 7, 7, 4, 2, 1. That right there is a 0. And then he rolled a 1 on the re-roll, which means it's still 0.
Where's the second roll? On the 1.
I don't see it.
No, the problem is that it
Doesn't show
puts
me
them
the
in order.
Yeah, it
from
said 1
top to
failure.
bottom.
Well, still, it's still 0. Because there's no other 8s or anything.
Well, I guess what I was trying to say is like if the second roll was the 1, then it would, but maybe it counted for that. So there you go.
But the thing is, it doesn't account for crit, so he has to re-roll.
Well, yeah, he has to
10.
still re-roll the 110 then, because if it didn't re-roll it, then yeah, it didn't re-roll it. It just said that there's 1 failure and you had 1 success, so it equals out to 0.
Yeah.
That is exactly why it's a 0. So you have to roll a d10 again.
Well, So
You
it
rolled
looks like
6
dice
and
up there.
Ken.
There's 6 dice there, so it did roll the second
Ken.
dice. It exploded.
And
You're getting a mulligan. Just roll another.
I'll do it.
for the love of God, roll the d10. Sure.
Still 0.
0.
Okay. So there is this power charge. You can hear it whirring up. Like, you guys actually feel it. He starts to, like, grunt a little bit because something starts to happen. There's a little bit of sweat that starts to bead on his forehead. And there's a pop noise. You can hear the door shudder just a little bit. Like, maybe some of the servos, maybe some of it was supposed to move. But it doesn't seem like it's enough. So, you can make the attempt again. But I'm going to make it like a 9 and see if you can push through it.
Question. Can Gordonson use his pop key?
His what?
The key that goes open up.
It says, "I'm a police officer. Open this."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we had
Well,
I don't know.
that may work, but you'd have to get it, like, its proximity, and it has to get to the terminal, which is on the other side of the door. So the pad's on the other end. So you'd have to be able to get to that. Otherwise, I'd say yes.
Thank you.
Because that would work, but it's on the other, it's
I'll
on the
try.
other side.
I'll try it one more time, but this is all I can do, and I won't be able to use this jolt fist for a little while. That's what he tells the group. I won't be able to use this for a little while.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, I'll try it out. What's up?
All right.
1, 10. No, 5 d10. Target 9. 1. I'm gonna leave the explode out,
Okay.
and so if it does explode, I'll just roll those separately.
It might have actually incorporated it, because I was just looking at that, because I don't know what your actual stats are. So that's something to be discussed later.
Well, I've got a 5
Yeah.
body.
Oh, that
I got-
explains it. Okay.
I got
yeah.
a 10, so I gotta roll one more.
Ooh.
Okay, nope. Does
You gonna use
it
any
ends
luck?
up being oh, you know what? Yeah, I could use the luck to bump that 8 to a 9. So I
Yeah.
have 1 success.
There you go. You just need 1 success. That's it. It's not that complicated a door.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. This time, I since I haven't done that very often, I'll charge it up this time and get the right feel for it, and then zap it when it.
Yeah, he's pressing his fist up against the door. There's a crack, and then this blue-white flash that, if you were looking directly at it, it's almost like a welding flare. It kind of hits like that almost, and you can see him just kind of shudder a little bit because the effort that it's taking for him to like overclock that capacitive power. But you hear a pop, and the door goes like that. You can see it partially like pop and become loose. The sound from the outside and from within the actual warehouse has gotten a lot louder now, because you've got maybe an inch of clearance from where the door used to be when it was sealed to when it popped ajar, and it is opening outward from the room.
Oh no. Does it have? It must have some kind of like handle, right? Like it's not just a flat wall.
On the outside, yes. On the inside, no.
On the outside, yeah, I could see.
Yeah, this is a chamber to be kept, like, to keep things in, and then
Yeah,
got
that makes
repurposed
sense
as
now.
other things.
Storage closet.
So
Yep.
Kay will grab the door so it doesn't continue to swing, because that'll be obvious. Like huge door opening it. He turns to both Gordonson and Gideon and says, he nods his head over at the mech. Like, what if we made a distraction with that? What if we had it go kind of on a rampage that way while we go this way? What do you guys think?
Isn't it powered down?
Well, yeah, but you can power it up. It's right there.
I mean,
Don't they have their own? Don't the mechs have, or not mechs? Sorry, don't these
rigs.
rigs have their own power source? They're just off right now. Just got
Well,
turned on.
sometimes like the more new ones actually have a much longer lasting life, but The rig that's in the corner there seems to be powered down. It could be missing its own power cell, or there could be that it's just never been recharged after a very long period of time, or it could just be in a standby mode. You'd have to look.
All right.
It's
That's what underloader at this point, because we got to figure out how we're going to get up there without people. Either they'll notice us and we have to fight our way there, or we sneak our way up there. And I figured that if everyone's looking this way, a little bit of distraction might be easier to
Misdirection.
navigate.
All right. Well,
I can make a distraction if that's what we want.
But would you be a target at that point?
No. I've got some little drone wolves that I can kind of send out to run in the other direction, cause chaos. They last a couple minutes. If that's enough time for us to get upstairs while they're running and doing their thing, I could do that.
What do you think, Gordonson?
You don't want judo unless you're in a lot of noise. You want a lot of noise? A lot of noise.
Well, I think that the second
lot of noise.
I think the second judo's in play, where that's more of a last step. That's my vote. I don't think we should use her until.
Yeah, judo's contingency.
Oh, good. So, you actually are safe. Fantastic.
I do enjoy living. Thank you.
The real question is, where are we going? The crow's
I guess
nest.
let's peek around the corner of the do we have a line? If we peek out
from where you are in the room, you are looking towards the side of the warehouse, like where the door popped open ajar, because that's on the right. Where that door popped open, you can get a front look of get to look at the front of the warehouse where they have their loading and offloading traffic coming through. The crow's nest office is going to be to your left, behind where the door is. So you'd have to push the door open enough to get your head out to take a look. It's risky, but you can turkey peek it and see if that actually would give you kind of more an idea of what you're looking at.
We wouldn't have to go across the warehouse. It's more like,
well, from where you guys are, you'd have to go at an angle to the other corner, right? You're actually sort of in the middle, but
yeah, okay.
Yeah, you'd have to traverse a little bit.
So I'm going to look towards Gideon. Like, you have wolf drums. What do they look like? Can I see them?
I imagine a medium-sized metallic dog.
Could we use it for reconnaissance? Because I really don't feel like poking my head out there right now. Like what you just said, the turkey look. That's a risk to me. I don't think, like talking to D, but like,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to look outside until we know what's going on out there.
I mean, they can't like talk to me. Like I don't see through them or anything like that.
Oh,
Beastmaster.
They're good for fighting. They're, if I need backup and I'm by myself, I toss these guys out. They pop up. They attack whatever I'm attacking, or a different target, but they're not.
Did when Judo connected to the communication system and she saw the crow's nest, did she get a layout of the place on?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can ask her for any of that kind of information. Ooh, I love this stuff.
Ooh, is that? Yep, that's Rayman.
Yeah, I got the peach flavored kind.
Ramune, yeah. I obviously pronounced it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the little marble in it. Love those.
Yep.
I've only ever had melon.
Good flavor.
Makes sense. Yes, you can get a layout. I believe you have a monocle, don't you, or some other device where she can actually give you kind of like sat nav and all that other stuff. I believe you did. You should.
I've got a communicator, and I've got obviously my bionic eye.
Yeah. Does that have that
So,
it doesn't have the marquee in the eye so you can actually see stuff?
I don't know. I since it doesn't say that, I will say no. But I've got my communicator, so we can talk that way. So I'm gonna peek down the hatch.
Yeah.
And say, "Hey, cheer up."
Yeah, and it's just sort of like she's like, "Go team!" like that from down below as a response.
Could you forward me the schematics of this place that you saw, and where in reference to where we are? We were trying to get a lay of the land.
You just hear "hi" like that, and it starts to send you information because you have a smart brace and all that other stuff with HoloLive. I know that HoloLive. Man, I've been in the tech business too long. You're like your holo projection, or your like basically your holo screen, where you can pop it up and put it in 3D. Yeah.
You just open the Teams meeting in your HUD while you're going.
Oh God! Don't ruin this for me.
Don't make the future boring.
Yeah, seriously.
Skype is going to make a comeback. I know it. The year 2099.
Shit.
Dude, that would be hilarious if we put the ring of Skype as the ring of our phones. The boop, 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 boop.
I
Oh my God.
so much, man.
Hey, I'm sorry. Taco Bell's gonna win the franchise wars.
That just means that Schwarzenegger becomes president.
Anyway, I open up my phone and or my communicator, and I kind of project out where we are and dot, and I kind of spin it around in place, and I was like, okay, so if we're here and our target's here, and I see where the door is, and
you have a general location. You can pan it out, so similar to tools that you might see that nowadays, you can actually scale. You've got a fair amount. You have a fair amount of clearance from this room to your office. You just don't know exactly what's going to be across from you in terms of personnel or vehicles or any of that other stuff, because you can't look out the door without getting yourself in trouble, most likely. The big way that this is going to work for you guys is that if you come out fast and do it properly, you'll be able to move and manipulate under the circumstances if you cause enough chaos. The biggest trouble that you're going to encounter are any of the automated security systems that are in-house, meaning that there's a good chance, because nobody in this group is stupid, that the personnel are going to be loaded with IFF tags, meaning that if there is any automated security, the guns are not going to mess up or miss their targets very easily.
Right.
You know, it's one of those things where it'll hit what they want to hit, and it will stop firing once the personnel get in the way. So, you know, it's going to have to be a smash and grab in the truest sense of the word. This is a raid.
Gordonson asked Judo. Judo, can you be a distraction?
Well, we're going to use the wolves, his like mechanical wolves, as a distraction, or we're going to, because Judo, like I said, is yeah,
because Judo's more of a last resort. Like
Yeah.
if she needs to get us out of Dodge, then she can make a big noise.
yeah. Well, she'll also be able to blast open your exit and allow you guys to get through.
Yeah. Okay, so our current plan then is we'll let the wolves out.
Who let the
And-
wolves out?
It'll be Gideon. So we'll send them out to the right, towards the front, and cause them to look that way, and then we will book it up to the front, up there, and neutralize anyone that's in there. How are we going to deal with the automated defenses? Do we have any way of shutting them off, or are we going to just have to dodge them? I'm talking to the group now. Because I imagine that Judo told us about that. I mean, she's got to.
I think the question we have to answer first is, are we all three going to the crow's nest?
Oh, that's a good point. I don't think does Gordonson need to
I mean, I can't jump into Judo and make her do stuff.
That's what I mean.
You know,
Like we might need him to stay back to like pilot Judo.
Well, and it might be better if he's. And I'm like talking about Gordonson while Gordonson's right there because I'm just talking to Kate. It might be better if he's like covering our exit. So, you know, I can throw the drones. We can sprint for the crow's nest. He can be here keeping this door open as an option, keeping that lane clear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want Judo to basically open a hole?
No.
Not unless.
No, don't do that. No.
If Judo is only if everything goes tits up.
We need. Kay turns to Gideon and is like, "We need a safe word." I say Mockingjay. If we say Mockingjay, that's when Judo comes.
He goes, "Sorry, Judo, you can't play. Sorry."
She's like, okay.
Find time for Judo to play. There will be plenty of opportunities.
So, if I recall this correctly, so she got into the system via terminal and was like working things around. She did it as like low impact as possible. So she got basic systems, basic looks. She didn't challenge the AI or anything else like that. Dealing with any part of the security systems mean that she would have been very loud. That does not mean that she cannot go and basically aggressively contest those systems and knock them out. It just means that everything's going to know, set off alarms, all that stuff, but more chaos might be good in this case. But the automated defenses are definitely a huge problem.
I mean, if she can flip everything friend or everything foe, that works for me. We don't need her to try and like magically recognize us or turn off tags or anything. Just
yeah, she can set it up to where everything just like she can do all kinds of stuff, but it's kind of up to her. But if you want to use her in that capacity, that's something.
Fine. Judo, you hear the conversation?
Hey,
all right. Can you do it?
yes, and like that, and she goes down to the console area. You can hear her stomping through the hallway. She's like, "Stand by."
but make sure we know it's everything's friend or everything's foe.
What was that, Bill?
He goes, "I need you one."
What'd you say?
Percentiles.
He goes, "NA21 power." Like he's trying to encourage a certain K-pop song within her.
Oh,
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the "I Am the Best" by 2NE1. It's a good one.
Thank you.
All right. Rip and tear until the job is done. She gives you guys a short time for her to be able to get in there. You got the percentage points. All right, let's see here. She's got a pretty decent... Oh my god, she critted out. Like, I don't know if I guess... Yeah, I can do it at this angle. See, it's a 10.
I do a 10.
Yep. With... We got ourselves a 5. I don't know if that's visible. Yeah, it's there. But, yeah, so 15 on the frickin' dice. And she is down there. You can hear her humming out of her, like, intercom. She's in the hallway making noise, but just humming to herself as she's doing her work. And she's like, "Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1," like that, and you can hear the alarms go off. The system kicks into overdrive. You can hear ratcheting sounds coming from the inside of the warehouse. A lot of very excited chatter from people that are like, "What the fuck is going on?" And there is just a lot of rushing movement. You can't really see what's happening, but the alarms have been set. There are very good chance that a lot of the personnel from the inside are starting to look for a problem. There's nothing obvious yet, because the alarms just went out for no reason when there was no indication of a problem. And like that ratcheting that you guys heard, very likely the system itself that was set off the automated security. So she's like, "Security is down. Go quickly."
Which Gordon said it's like he's got firearm here. He's pushing.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Go, go, 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 go."
Are you gonna release the hounds there?
Yeah, so as I go in, I'm gonna pull essentially 3 not Pokeballs from my pocket. Let's say they're little Rubik's Cube, like metallic Rubik's Cube-y looking things. Digi squares or whatever. And I'll just like toss those out to the right and shout, "Evade!" Like,
yeah,
just, I want them to run
simple orders. Yeah.
Legally distinct Pokeball. Yeah, they're from Pal World. They're not at all. Just gonna toss.
Here's
That's great.
Yeah. And they're gonna like
Yeah,
pop
they're
out.
they're a complex like nanite machine, so they can
Right.
create a light frame with a lot less worry about it. But yeah, they materialize into being kind of just rippling forward like sheets of just liquid metal, and then forming into these wolf-like dogs that look like hollow and capable.
3 basic commands, attack, pursue, evade. So I say evade, toss them out, and that's what they're gonna do. So
Yeah. So
They
they're
don't
going to
have a
offer you
lot
guys like a way of confusion and support. All right.
Yeah.
So who's first out the door? How are we doing this?
I think Kay's at the
I'm taking
door.
point. Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
Now that the chaos has ensued, I'm not going to slam the door open because that's just rapid movement. People are going to start looking at that.
Oh, I'm spending 3 SFR.
Very nice.
So we let's see. So I'm going to ease the door open, but not fully, and like peek around to see what I got. And if no one's looking at me, I'm gonna start to not suspiciously run. I guess this is that.
Well, it doesn't matter if you're suspicious or not. The alarms are going off. You can see the automated systems. The moment you start pushing that, the guns themselves are training back and forth and seeing nothing. And what you're actually hearing on the back end is that you have roughly 50 seconds to get yourselves moving into location before the guns themselves have a chance of coming back online and re-registering the proper effect, meaning shooting the hell out of everybody here.
Hey, you feel a shove from Gordon's and going in your back, going, boom, run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did the to the left and right, saw the guns, and then started going.
Same. I'm heading straight up for the whatever.
Yeah, so you guys, you burst into the main warehouse area, okay? Everybody's focused more outward, but your three wolves have started to create all kinds of gnarly chaos out in the like the main and front areas, mainly because of the fact that they are moving about and getting targeted by some of the more heavy units. You can hear the chatter going off, and then there's pop of gunfire, which is extremely loud in this wide open space. They have not closed the front doors or anything, but these dogs have now got everyone's attention, and they are starting to move that way. The only people that happen to catch you, I mean, you can make a brief, like a single stealth, and if you do, you might be able to cut across the first half of that warehouse without being caught by some of the other people that are moving to assist up at the front. There are still, like trained men that are at the back part of the warehouse keeping their position, because you never just leave any position wide open.
16 for Gideon on stealth.
Okay, anybody else?
Well, I mean, we're gonna all try, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. If you don't, that just means you have a
trying to-
distraction on both
that's all.
ends.
Yeah. Roll 1d10. Stealth is. There it is.
Ooh,
We both got 16.
damn, 16, that's twice over now. What?
Well, cyber doggos. Bill, what's your stealth rating?
Yeah, it's got a 9 on the die. You have no ranks in it?
Nope.
What's your reflex?
Eight.
Scanning. That means you got a
Right.
17.
17.
Okay.
Cop training.
Alright, so you all kind of keep it down. Let's see what these guys get. The ones in the back are probably the ones that are going to be a little bit easier to deal with. Holy crap. They rolled a 2, dude. Which means they got 14 total on that observation.
Oh, damn.
So you guys actually crossed the first half. The gunfire is popping off towards the front of the warehouse, and a lot of rapid fire. There are barks, yips, and loud, like digitalized robotic sounding noises as they are just causing all kinds of madness. The heavier units are not using any of their like heavier ammo, which, you know, obviously conservation is important. But now you've gotten to the center part where you have the railings and the main docking areas and a lot of where distribution occurs. Stealth is going to be almost impossible because it's just open runways and areas where, you know, vehicles will either dock or loading rigs will move through unobstructed. So now it's a straight haul. How do you want to proceed? Because it's going to be that you're going to get caught. You just have to decide who it is that's going to be running for the touchdown, so to speak.
Well, I have a mobility 8.
Alrighty.
Like I'm fast.
Yeah, my mobility is 5, so you'll be faster than every one of us. So you'll probably surpass me while we're running. So
I'm in my human form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Still running faster than us.
Well, move forward aggressively.
Alrighty. So you've got lead there. Let's see. Back to this. Roll this up and see what we get for our percentages. How's your luck? You've got to be kidding me. That's 18%. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh, damn.
You guys crossed the center lanes. Just like, wait, who's got like, you guys all have like danger magnet?
Uh-huh.
Crap.
No,
yeah, I got it.
I don't have danger magnet.
Okay.
I have enemies and notorious and poverty, but no danger magnet.
Okay. And so, if I'm not mistaken, what was the base percentage? And it amps up for every other person in the party who has it.
Danger magnet?
Yeah. You have to go to either our World Anvil or something like that for the newest one.
No, I don't have danger magnet.
You don't? It's just
I only
him.
have danger magnet. Yeah.
Only monster.
Okay. There's probably a base percentage. I believe it was 25, 22, something like that. If that is the case, it stockpiles on top of that. So it means that they actually get the chance to catch you in the act.
Read. Can you read it, Scott, so I can add it to my details?
Yeah.
God almighty. Okay. While you guys are aggressively moving across the lanes, despite the fact that you guys were doing so well, there are shouts from the backside of the warehouse indicating that you've been seen along that way. They aren't the heavy units, so that's good. But there are several security personnel who start to open fire down that general location, and they're doing it rapidly. So let's see here, and let's see how lucky y'all get. All right, I want a dodge from everybody that's running across this lane, so it means everyone. We're gonna be hitting towards like 21 if you can manage it.
22.
Okay.
You can manage it. Dodge, okay.
Dodge is one of those things that's kind of both active and passive at the same time.
Okay, let me see. Danger magnet. Paste this in.
What? No, it wasn't 2. It was supposed to be plus 8. So I got a 16.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I read it right. I did put it in 8. I just rolled a 2 on the dice.
Oopsies. Okay.
So base
Well, it's a
plus
5% increase.
Base is 10% plus 5% for each person in the party with danger magnet.
Oh, okay. So that means that there just aren't as many people in this instance who actually caught you like I originally thought. So, okay. Okay, so Bill and all right, so it looks like they're aiming a little bit low. I believe both Bill, what's your armor? Do you have it like covering your legs? Or is it just a vest?
National armor of 5.
Alright, is that full body coverage?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's that, but you don't have any actual armor you're wearing?
Nope.
Alright. So, and then what was your armor there, Ken?
Armor for like my legs?
Yeah.
0.
0? Oof. So, shots ring out as they call out. You've got Gideon, who manages to get up across the lanes and out of the way when you see ricochet occurring. A couple of sparks off some of the local equipment. Now, whatever they're using for live fire in this case must be capable of not really damaging some of the surrounding area, because there's a lot more breakage that's happening whenever the impacts occur. But you just hear this whizzing pop, Kay, and on your upper left thigh, you can feel something just burning. It looks like you got winged by one of the rounds that went by, and that will actually be 6 points of damage across the leg. While you're doing that, same kind of thing happens. Except for it's the calf for you, Bill. You actually only take 1 point because it was just over the top. So it just kind of rips a hole in your pants and makes you bleed. It's just a flesh wound. But you get into cover just in time before the rest of their shots can ring out. But they're going to be closing on your position, and they're going to be doing it quick.
At which point he goes, "Judo, make it loud."
I don't know. I guess this is it. Gordon's just we're fucked. Call her in.
I stubbed my toe.
Yeah, you just hear.
I'll be looking that way.
Over comms, of course, you just hear "yokai" like that, and then the sound of blaring noise just comes up from that room, and there are several thunderous explosions that cause reverberation through the floor. Even though it's mostly concrete, it's going to take her a second to do that, but it's definitely coming in loud. She's just got to blast a hole large enough that she can actually come up through the floor.
He basically looks at the two of you and goes, "Make it happen."
Yeah.
And he moves to the direction of the judo.
So you're backtracking?
Yeah, he basically says,
okay.
He tells Kay to deal with it, what you need to deal with it. But he's going to be with judo.
All right. So are you calling her for extraction, or are you just retreating?
No.
Is she coming to get you, or are you going to her?
I'm going to her.
He's going to meet her halfway, is what it sounds like.
Because we're great distraction. You two need to do what you need to do.
So, Bill, I need a dodge roll since you're crossing back into the line of fire to go, meet up with your mech. You're gonna have to get past a 29. They rolled a 10-7.
Are you shitting me?
Nope.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Fine.
Fine. He's getting into character. He's really doing it.
Fuck off. Okay. How much luck do I need to pump in?
In order to do an explosion, it's 3 if you don't have lucky. It's 2 if you have lucky.
I am lucky.
So it takes 2 to explode it.
How much luck do you have?
And
I'm just saying, because you can just keep adding.
Yes, until he runs out of luck, depending on the explosions and how good they are.
Okay, so run 1,
I haven't yet figured if luck is broken. If you can just like, I'm gonna roll 6 extra die here.
Well, see, the thing is that once you use it all up, you can't use it the rest of the session, so it ain't that broke.
Right.
So I've got luck. So I'm gonna roll 1 to 10.
Okay.
Oh my, really?
Come on, let's go, Bill. Roll that D19.
All right, so you're up to 19 total. You need 10 more to meet the dodge.
Yeah, right.
All right, you need 8 more.
Three more.
Holy shit.
Oh my god! He gets a... He scores a crit on the last one.
There's all the luck.
So he was at 25, now 35.
There you go.
40 freaking 2.
He's gonna be like the Matrix, like Neo. Just like,
Oh, dude, it's way weirder than that. So he's like, "You go on ahead. I'm gonna go back and get." Well, he's just like, "I got this." Yeah. The dumbest part about this is that you're like, "Wait a minute, he's gonna run back across? Like he's not like you're just kind of having that half thought, like, He jumps back into the lane that's in the center of this warehouse. They unload. There are at least 3, maybe 4 shooters that he identifies by accident because he just goes running out as a gigantic target. Not only do they all miss, he ends up cutting across the lane, half tripping, which sends him to kind of doing this weird roll. He comes back up, it's spitting concrete at his feet and all around the sides, where some of it is actually going down the lane and you can hear it like whizzing down towards the front of the warehouse as they're making these shots. And he's just like careening through this and happens to get missed by everything. There's even a tracer that cuts right across his back and it just misses by maybe an inch. And he gets to the other side where there's more cover and you can still hear those like explosions happening from the maintenance hatch. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but he manages to get across unscathed. Doesn't take a single wound. Not one more bullet. Nothing. It just goes all around him like he was basically just moving in an exact preparation for that. It doesn't look real.
And as he skids in, he slides in a baseball slide and goes, "God damn it, get done."
Alright. Which means at the same time when you catch this, like, feat of psychosis.
It's in slow-mo with like,
Yeah.
like.
So, you have to go the opposite way, because you've got the office in sight. You'll have to get up the stairs, which is going to be the most dangerous part. Because there's a lot of possible gunfire that can be pegging you out if you're, not careful. So, the hounds, or the wolves in this case, are still maintaining the front end and keeping them busy, but it's not going to be terribly long before they start, like, looking the other way, since gunfire is happening further down inside the warehouse. Okay, so, are you guys going to want to try and stealth again to see if you can avoid anybody else who's moving in that security area, or as part of the baseline for the office? Or are we just going to deadbolt run for it?
You gotta get up.
I mean, aren't I there?
Huh?
Didn't I make it through?
You made it halfway across with the first stealth check. You crossed the middle lane, which is where all the docking happened. You guys got to the other side without being terribly wounded. And then you're still...
right, I just rolled higher than the dodge.
Right, and you managed to successfully get there without being pinged first.
Okay.
Right. So now you've got the other half of the distance to cover.
I think I'm just
imagine
gonna...
the guys. Yeah, full on sprint.
Like, if they've turned to
look at
fire at him, I'm just gonna... We're still within that minute, I think. So...
Yep.
The turrets are offline, or at least the turrets are not targeting us. I'm just gonna take
can't be
advantage of the
slowing.
chaos and go speed over stealth.
Okay.
And I do have a trench coat on that can provide me with some protection, so I'm a little less careless, a little less careful.
All right, so
More
let's go ahead and do it. We'll just have you guys make a dodge here. You guys are going to be focused entirely on getting up the stairway and through to the other end to make it to that office. I'll let you guys have a dodge with a +2, just because you guys are just making it a straight up, not focusing on anything else and just hauling balls to get to where you need to be.
All right.
Let's see. Plus, my dodge is 8, so that'll be a 10.
Yeah, let's see what their combat awareness is going to give them. They only got like a 15 on their combat awareness, so they're probably not going to see you terribly much. Yeah, it's only the ones that are down there, so... Holy but Jesus, is that a 26?
No.
He rolled a 10.
Christ almighty. Did you roll a 10 twice, or... Oh, okay, I got you.
What?
No.
Oh my god.
Third time. Scott, why are you using all your luck up on this little pin? I think he dodges it.
Yeah, I think you get up to the main office without having much to worry about.
So I got a 26, 36, 46, 55 on my dodge.
Yeah. 55.
Yeah.
So I just like, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, seriously. What about our good friend Kay here? What's his numbers like?
I got 18.
You got 18? Okay. Oh, that was your roll. God damn. All right.
As you're sliding,
Jesus.
sliding across the floor.
Gordon's just good sliding us more going.
Dude, the dice super love you guys. I don't understand this. This was the like danger check here. It was just 4%. I guess I was checking on something. All right, so you push. I can't freaking believe it, dude. I keep like, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? It's just like, no, nah, whatever. Shut up. Like, yep. It's the same exactly. It's the same shit. Like whenever I'm rolling real dice too. Crazy. All right. You burst across several of the loading dock equipment, and like there are other pieces here. There's even a few like loading rigs still in motion and doing their job despite the chaos that's in the warehouse. And they keep moving, so you have to juke around them because they're like larger. Some are close to almost 7 feet tall with the big, broad, like bipedal appearance and the shoulders that are like really tough and strong. All their frame is just extremely durable, but they're just moving slow. So you have to kind of like move around them and cut very carefully through them whenever you get into the more narrow aspects. But you finally get to the bottom stairwell and charge all the way up the steps, which is just a short right angle landing that goes up along the wall, and then you start hearing the ticking patter of gunfire hitting off the concrete on the wall to your right as you're just zooming up the stairs. There are even a couple of bursts that hit in front because they're trying to lead the target too hard, and you just go through the spitting concrete and crash through the main office door, which happens to have not been locked because it was during the day and nobody's in here at the moment. So now you have access to the terminal that sits at the main desk adjacent to the door, and you can hear a lot of shouting from downstairs talking about intruders, and it looks like they're going to try and get people to block the stairway on your way out. But you have access to the terminal now. How do you proceed?
I have security as a skill. I don't have any training in like interface or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I don't think security covers like turret stuff.
Well, the base
that was more like knowing, patterns and.
Yeah, that was security on sort of like the physical side of things. If you have anything like basic tech or anything else, although, see the difference being is that K has interface.
I was gonna say K can.
Yeah, so if you want to go towards that terminal, K, are you gonna like guard him on the way back, or what's your plan then while he's doing that?
Yeah, well, like if we get in, I'll guard while give him time to flip
He rushes terminal so that you can get
First.
to where you need to be. Now, what would be a good one? I have my original
I'll have my
listed
gun
here.
drawn and just start, you know.
Okay, so he rushes towards that terminal. Okay, I need your interface check, Ken, so we can see exactly how good you got
that's
it.
what Ken wants to do. I'm not
Yeah.
going to speak for him.
No,
I'd be like, let's punch it.
We're in the room. There's a terminal. I'm jumping at it because we're
Yeah.
here to get information about our MacGuffin.
Yep.
See if it's here and what's going on.
Punch it, Chewie!
Yeah. 1d plus. My interface is 12, so plus 12.
Oh, the fireworks have started. Yay.
Well, 24 hours early. You just never can tell.
Man, my rolls. You guys stole all my good rolls tonight because I've not rolled above a 5.
Yeah, you really are struggling on that front, aren't you?
I think just for this one, I'm gonna explode that dice because
Do it.
I want
Do
to
it.
have something here. Let's see. All right. Oh, that's better. So I got 24.
Nice. Okay. At a minimum, because of this place and how it works, not to mention all the extra security on the outside, the level of requirement for that roll was around 22. So you barely nudged it right over the top.
Oh,
Okay.
Good thing I used it.
You can use your smart brace to start downloading all the data. You're not going to be choosy. You're just going to start grabbing and downloading. It's going to suspend you for a short period of time. You're going to be locked in place, making sure that you don't actually have, you don't miss anything. While that is happening, there are going to be people that are going to be charging up the steps to get into this room. There is one subtle advantage with being in the office. There is a bit of a landing that gets to the main doorway, so you can't see directly down the stairs from the door because it expands outward. Oh my god. Classic. But it will mean that you actually have the high ground, and that is an advantage in this case because you can see people coming up and into the office. And they're going to be moving very carefully to make sure that they don't get surprised. That said, all of this is taking place rather rapidly. By the time he is a few moments into the terminal and gaining access to it using whatever kind of cracked software he's got, there is another explosion that comes down from downstairs as the maintenance room, or that closet, the storage closet, blows wide open. Alright, and that also means that there is a loud sound of K-pop blaring from the main point. Yep.
That, you know what? That would be some psychic damage right there. There's a war zone going on, and then you start hearing that.
Yeah, it's blasting loud. So you've got "I Am the Best" by 281, a really, really old, 21st century song, just blasting through the air. And now you have the situation as it is. I need a combat sense with you and your mech, Bill, because you just basically made a huge introduction, and everybody's going to be turning their eyes on you. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I was drinking, Scott. How dare you?
God. Damn.
Wow.
You can't do that to divorcees. It's not nice.
You cannot do that to divorcees.
Judo rolls for distraction.
Oh, God.
God damn it. Thank you, D. Thank you, D. Because
Extra thick.
what am I doing?
You were rolling combat sense.
Combat sense.
Oh. That's what I was doing. Not booty check. Gotcha. 14.
Yeah. Combat sense, not a booty check. Please. Jesus.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What was a combat check? Booty check? Wait. Alright, let's see here.
Booty, 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 booty.
Booty, 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 booty. Oh god.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, wow.
What?
You just need to be.
I didn't even
all
give you a
the time.
bonus! You technically would have had, like, surprise, because nobody knew you were there, but...
Oh, well, there, that balances out. You just had to be reunited with your OTP.
One true Karen.
Oh my god, dude. Whatever. You're first. So-
There's a lot of divorce logic here.
Okay. You're inside of your mech. You have the HUD system that's projecting behind what you can see because, you know, it's specific to you and ingrained in that sense. So you've got your system readouts, instrument readouts, weapon readouts. You have all of that, including any kind of armor damage, etc. You are partially depleted on some of your ordnance, which means that your explosives and things like that you don't have as much of, given the fact that she's recently unloaded on her original, like, impound situation to get out of that, and then she blasted through a good portion of the floor to get up to this point. So you've got two of your missiles left, and you have two of your 2.75 rockets, and you also have a fair amount of your guns, though. Those are at max, which means that you have close to about 1,500 rounds per arm.
So,
You gonna use some stealth now?
Stealth, that's what we need.
Sneak away.
you hear over the comms Gordon's going like, "Oh, it's about to get loud."
About
Probably
to.
loud. The music is blaring.
Yeah.
Get it done. And all you hear is like the blaring of machine gun fire and rocket fire.
Okay. Get me your shots, please. They are caught unawares, which means that you actually get your surprise in this case. So you're firing your shots with a +2 bonus, or is it +1? Let me change it down.
Here's the thing: is you've never given judo rockets
Oh well.
or machine guns, so you surprised us both.
Yeah, she's got that hanging around. She is a combat she's a combat mech.
Okay, what do I roll?
You have to just
Nice.
roll on your heavy. But you're gonna have a bonus of hers because she's the one supporting it. She's got targeting systems.
Oh my god, I hate you so much. So I have no heavy.
Okay, so it's
So-
gonna be reflex plus a D10 plus 5 because that's her targeting system.
Okay, so roll D10.
You're gonna have a base 14 whenever you're firing as a pilot.
So I do have pilot. So
Well, you are the pilot, not the skill.
okay, 14.
Yeah, you have a base 14 because you have 9 reflex, right?
8.
You have an 8? Okay, so base 13.
Base 13. So
Yeah.
1d10 plus 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go!
God damn you. Not 22. So
22. Damn. Roll a 9. Okay. So Yeah, they did not get as high on their dodge at all. They got a 16. I was expecting that to be a lot closer. So let's just see. Because we're going to have, like, say, at least 6 targets in the area. How many to... Dude. There are 4 out of the 6 targets that you can, like, determine with your combat system that you are aiming sort of in and around. You unload. Some of the activity is kind of blocked, so you don't hit everybody, but you're belting out gunfire with muzzle flash that's almost 2.5, maybe 3 feet long. And it's so rigorous that you're watching the depletion of ammunition go very quickly. So it just sounds like a buzzsaw, and you go in sweeping directions left and right. 4 targets are hit. 2 of them are likely to be dead from the number of rounds that they took, while the other 2 are at least critically or wounded. Critically wounded or just wounded. But they disappear from sight. Now everybody's attention is turned to the real threat in the room, which happens to be the pink walking mech blasting the music in this place. And you start hear target lock warnings and all kinds of things just popping off the moment you actually finish your sweep. So you just hear sort of like, incoming! Like from the inside, just rattling your brain as she screams out loud that you actually have like ordnance and other things coming your way. There are heavy armed, those heavy rigs. They have turned themselves towards you to handle you as the largest threat.
And he just bellows, "Ram it down the fucking hole!"
So you're just gonna run?
Yeah.
Alright, Froll. So he does that. I need a dodge from you, please. It's actually going to be a pilot. You're going to roll a pilot check because you're actually trying to juke and dodge with a vehicle, which is...
Okay,
Got to make a pilot check for me.
Give me a second.
The heavy rigs are dangerous. They have a 23. You're going to have to beat that.
Oh my god. God, thank God I invested in pilot, but I guess.
Let's see how he do. Freak off, really? I just saw that.
14.
Negative. That is a 1 and a botch. And you have no luck anymore, do you?
I had 7 luck. I have 1.
You spent 8 luck on the last rolls that you made, just so you're aware.
Yeah, I had 1 left.
Okay. So you could bump that up to a 2 then, so it's not a botch.
I just got a crit.
Huh? You can't explode it if you have one point left. You can only boost it. So you go from a 1 to a 2. That means you went from a 14 botch to a 15 and not botch. Because remember, you have to spend 1 point for a boost, which gives you 1 point to the die roll. You have to spend 2 points for an explode.
Okay. Well, I'm out of luck, so.
Yeah. At least you didn't botch. That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Isn't that Mick Jagger? Who is that?
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the angle. It makes his lips look huge. And I'm like, is that Mick Jagger? Like
His mouth is massive, though.
I mean, that's straight from the Labyrinth or something. Like,
Okay.
that's not a human.
Yeah, you're kind of right about that. Okay. So you take heated fire from these heavy combat rigs as they just open up a can of whoop ass in your general direction. You swivel and you start feeling the impacts. It starts to jar you so hard that you are shaking in the inside of your pilot seat and can't really see what's going on in your monitors anymore. You can actually hear Judo on the inside going, "Ah!" like that as she's screaming to get out of the line of fire and taking impact. You can hear all kinds of warnings going off, and there are red flashing indicators where you are taking hits and damage. Now, what do you have as far as like the actual armor that she has and the rest of that stuff? I don't remember if I gave that to you or not.
Resilience, 30, integrity, 68% armor 18.
Right, we haven't changed it over, so it's going to have to be a little bit different than that. Because that's just the straight up. So, at this point, you've got, let's see, we got 3 of them that launched ordnance. That's 6 of those, because they were launching volleys. And you take from 2 of the other, okay. So, there is a raucous level of explosions. They're smaller, so they're only about a radius of like 6 to 7 feet, but they hit like trucks. The back of the back part of the unit is like flashing red, where you'd normally expect a spinal column to be, or like anybody else. That part's getting direct hits, along with the upper part of the actual infrastructure. All of that is getting nailed. And whenever you get done with being hit by those, you can tell that there are several points on the left part of the unit where it's taken a lot more significant damage from just regular old-fashioned gunfire. But it's gunfire from these heavy rigs. Do me a favor. I need you to roll a percentile, please. So you're going to do 1d100. That's how you're going to do it. While he's doing that, damn, dude, you managed to freaking stave it off. I don't know how you did it. So, you do not suffer any kind of system failure whenever you're going back through and cut off line of sight. But your left-hand gun, where that was, is in bad shape. The arm itself is kind of, or like where the actual side of it would normally have been, and the turret and the rest of it, because I don't think it actually had arms, but I think it had arms, but I'll have to look at the actual features again. But that left side is heavily damaged, and that gun is also going to be a little bit tricky. Could jam, could have other problems, but you get out of line of sight. For you guys in the office, where it was loud before, it becomes a torrential just downpour of bullets. There's just a bunch of shit that happens. Multiple explosions, something that sounds like a gunsaw, people screaming bloody murder, and then when you're trying to like stay focused, there is another cacophony of just raucous explosions from downstairs. You can also hear what sounds to be like some small enemy girl screaming for her life as she's running to get back down the hole again, as per command.
Enter the hole.
Yeah. Alright. So, with that being said, you pull basically... Let's see here. I want to find out exactly how successful you are. We'll see what the dice have to say, because you've been holding position now for a little bit. You have enemy targets coming up the stairwell, Scott, and they're going to have to be dealt with, because they did not detract from what they were doing. They just like slowed whenever the sweeping gunfire happened, and then they started coming back up. Oh, you're gonna go full wolf, are you?
Yeah.
All right, sounds like a plan. Does that cost you SFR? I can't remember.
It doesn't. It costs me a health level.
Oh shit, that's right.
A little painful, as I recall.
Yeah. Okay, well, he decides he's gonna flip, and you're kind of like, so you're at the terminal, Ken, just doing your thing, trying to grab, whenever he decides to pop off. And you see his body, like, beginning to transform with ligaments stretching, bones cracking, moving. It is an absolutely horrific scene because you've got all of the light in here compared to where it used to have been before.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was kind of dark in the insane asylum, so you didn't really get the full view of it. But he grows a little bit in height, and all of his features become much more wolf-like. There's even a presence of fur that wasn't there before, but not in the pretty way. It's more patchwork, depending on where all of the cybernetics have intruded upon his flesh. And it just comes out that he is now, it's very much like that. And it will be about as quick.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can tell that there is a lot of, there is definitely a sacrifice to this, because he's not doing this, he's bleeding out of the mouth some. There's even coming from out of his nose and some of his ears. Like any place that actually has something open, you can tell he's bleeding from that. Just from the massive restructuring of his bones. Yeah. But whenever it's all over, because they are not up the stairs yet, and you can definitely easily assume that a single round will pass before you get to, before you have to worry about them. I would say this transformation is fine. Now, what are you going to do with it?
Well, yeah. It takes 1 round to complete.
Yep.
And for a Forge Fang, I spend a health level.
Yeah.
For the others, they have to make a Will Essence check to do it. So that's the difference. My Will Essence is to go back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do this. I get stat boost across the board, pretty much. Reflex, mobility, and body.
Oof. This is going to be
And
nasty.
I gain access to my claws and fangs.
Yep.
So yeah, if Kay needs more time at the terminal, and there's
He does.
Folks at the bottom of the stairs distracted by a fleeing rig.
Yeah, the heavy rigs for sure are very focused on him. They're not anything. They're not focused on you or the office right now.
So in my deep growly voice, I'll keep them busy,
Yep.
Lock the door behind me.
All right.
And, yeah. You want a combat sense? What do you want?
I do want a combat sense. Let's see exactly how fast you can push this out. And again, this is actually going to initiate a surprise because they are not expecting a cybernetic werewolf to come charging down the stairway.
Right? Neither was I. But that's just how life is.
That's life, you know.
Okay. Oh wait. So I gotta switch my form. Oh, I know this is there. There we go. Okay. So switch my form, and then that changes my skills, right?
It will change your skills automatically.
Did.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. I love it. Combat sense is plus 15. I got a 4. Okay, so 19 on my combat sense.
Alrighty, let's see what they get. Throw out a 12 base. They only got a 14. And yeah, you shake their ass loose, that's for sure. So you come bounding from the upper landing into the stairwell, and you see them freak out. These guys are security. Yeah. They are used to all kinds of things. They are not used to seeing that. You see the whites of their eyes, and they bring up weapons to try and fire before you get down on them, but you're literally careening and using just gravity. I mean, it's just, I assume that you're just doing that full frontal leap down the stairway, like all balls, no bullshit. Yeah.
I mean, my plan is to kind of bull rush. If it's my turn, I will do a ferocious howl.
Yep.
Which is a move. I spend 2 SFR, and basically it's a combo intimidation and gives my allies a +1 to their will essence.
Yeah, and that would count. So
for 1 round.
Yep.
So
it would make sense. But yeah, I mean, you're basically just terrifying the living shit out of them. There's that spontaneous panic fire that happens as they're trying to take their shots, but you careen into them physically before they even have a chance to properly aim. You know, if they were looking in that direction already, you freaked them out and their aim went up like this as they tweaked. So
yeah,
I just gotta get your attacks now to see exactly how you pull that off. Are you just gonna do one smashing hit to get them all in a row, or are you swinging your claws?
I don't even know how I would do a charge.
In this case, it would just be considered a single attack, but the idea here is you have the secondary effect of knocking all the rest of them. Technically, they're going to be prone at that point. You're
bull rush him down the stairs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do my melee.
A stunt.
Would you be at +19? So a 27 as a melee. It's what I'm really good at, is melee attacks.
What the fuck?
So unleash the beast, and then, like I said, ferocious howl. So my allies get a boost to their will essence should they need to do one, and then I.
Yeah, So you hear the pitter patter of
Werewolf
fire.
on your side.
Yeah, there's pitter patter of panic fire. You come rushing down the stairs like the bulldozer of death and just careen into these dudes, swiping, clawing, and snapping.
Yeah.
I rolled luck for these dudes. They only got like 19, even with the extra die roll. Like, Christ. What are your claws damage anyway?
So it's a natural weapon of 8 plus bod score, so that makes it a 20 on the damage.
Yeah. So he said it makes it 20.
Yeah, 20. 'Cause it's 8 plus bod score.
Oh my god.
My bod is a 12 right now.
They can only block seven of that with the armor they're wearing, so they're getting hit for 13 every swipe. Like, that is nasty, dude.
And then I have melee master.
Which means you get another attack, right? So you're gonna do it once, twice.
Yeah, so that's kind of the plan, is that I would like bull rush and then
Yeah.
I don't have like a cleaving sort of thing, but just, whatever's in front of me, it's gonna get
Yeah, you
another round of
bulldoze
claw.
into them. Like I said, it's still the whole claws and fangs out kind of thing, because you're gonna do like 13 damage to the guy in front, and you're gonna be swiping at the mother. No cleave my ass. What is that?
So fur and fury, right?
Dude.
Just
I wish I could say that wasn't like there's no cheating because you could got it right here. Christ. Jesus.
so yeah, bull burst out of the room, ferocious howl, charge down the stairs, knocking them off the stairs, and then swiping claws. Whatever's in my way is getting hit.
Dude. On top of the fact that you rolled 8 plus more damage, I'm wrong. They're getting 21. You're killing people like first hits.
So if they weren't tormented by K-pop,
Right. Yeah.
Massive roaring howl comes down the stairwell, bulldozes into the first guy who knocks into the other ones because they were in tight formation, snaps and claws. The first dude goes like down immediately in a spray of blood. There is no way to identify him. His face, chest area ripped to absolute bloody shreds. The other guy who is right behind him is knocked backwards, tumbling down the stairwell. The unfortunate third man ends up getting the claws with a direct cut, leaving him disemboweled and gurgling as he goes tumbling down the stairwell. You still have an assload of movement that you can still take, as you can head one direction or the other, or you can try and cover the pass, but like you can pick whatever direction you want. And like, what's your full sprint anyway? Because you could literally engage that with whatever you're like.
Well, my mobility is 10, so I think I can get anywhere in that room.
If you're using that sheet, yeah, well, for the most part, yeah, because you only have to juke and dodge around certain objects, but
Yeah.
it'll tell you what your sprint is, it should say. It's going to be underneath the actual stats.
I don't actually... Oh, no. Sprint is 60.
That's 60 meters, or 60 yards, for us American plebeians. Yeah, so... But yeah, that is a lot of space.
Sure that K has...
Yeah, his exit
lane.
point.
Exit, right?
Yep. So you can push whatever direction you think is probably a bigger threat without going too far, easily and no consequence. Okay. Kay, while you're up there and hearing the screams of the dying,
He's gonna say under his breath, is like, I will never get used to, like, just talking about the while he's typing, like, seeing the transformation. Like, it's been twice now, and the still not okay.
yeah. I want you to make another interface check because you are now being internally attacked from the computer side. It looks like the AI is now starting to finally get its grounding back and is going to try and resist you.
Okay.
as you hear this, voice from the comms going, Gordon's and going, "Do you have it handled?"
Okay, it got pretty high. Oh my god, what's this? Oh god, Warwick. Yeah.
Yeah. I know, when I saw that, like, the first time I was watching that unfold in Arcane, I was like, yeah, that's the thing I was thinking of.
Well, you just embodied that like crazy. Alright, so, like I said, it rolled pretty high. You're going to have to push a 24.
I did not.
Okay. So, system starts shutting down on you. It starts to close you out. And it's rapidly happening.
I started, like, hitting it, and so I was like, damn.
Yeah. And then your
Your
download is stopped. You're going to have to disconnect immediately, because if you don't, you're pretty sure that the AI will try and corrupt whatever data you've saved on your side.
Yeah, we don't need ransomware.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, to unlock your arm, play 10,000 credits.
Do you have any luck you can spend?
I can boost it to... I've got 2 luck left, so I can only boost it.
Yeah, he
So I'm
doesn't
not
have a
lucky.
lot. So it's just basically like, well, shit, and like that, you just unplug it. Basically, you disconnect
I think we got a good
your...
amount of data, though.
Yeah.
I'm
Common
going to take...
sense.
I'm going to take one cursory glance around this room to see if there's any of note that I could just grab, like something that, like, you know, just the. So I guess I'm going to do one. I just need to do a cursory glance around, because I'm not going to sit there and search. I just want to do a glance.
Nothing else in the office seems to be worth taking. If there's anything else in here, there's just hard copies of some information which would be either destroyed, moved around, or difficult to operate with how fast you need to move. But
Okay, so not even roll. You
Yeah.
just tell me there's nothing. Okay.
no, it's just, well, because I rolled on the percentage and you're just taking a quick glance. I don't even need you to roll yet. You're like, probably not going to give too much of a shit. I mean,
You don't see any glowing Pulp Fiction briefcase that says top secret, do not steal.
all right, so we got to make your escape. I can't remember. Do you just carry like a sidearm with the rest of your stuff, or do you have anything else?
I've got a Desert Eagle,
Oh,
so
okay.
a little bit more than a sidearm, but yeah.
Does it have any special ammunition? I can't remember.
Third weapon.
What was that, Pill? I'm sorry, you got quiet.
It's like 5.0. Yeah. Just-
wait.
Not that shit. Yeah, snatch.
What I do have is a thigh holster. That's where my gun is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in my,
Okay.
my thigh.
All right, then.
And I'm at
it's
the base of the stairs, keeping it clear for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna exit and have the gun out, but like not take aim. I'm trying to
All right.
escape at this point.
All right, so you're just going to get down the stairwell there. All right, so as it is, I've actually got to... All right. Ooh. All right, you're going to have to make a dodge, Scott, because the mech is no longer a primary target. Some of the hard units or some of the heavy units, not hard units, that sounds wrong. Some of the heavier units are actually moving towards his escape route. Some of the other ones that were at the front. So again, there were like 10 of them that were kind of occupying the outside. You only had to deal with a few that were like at the front. There's been 4, with 2 that were sort of able to see inside. But you know that Kay is going to be a sitting. Jesus Christ, the mech thing there in the middle. The way that this is going to pan out is he's going to be a sitting duck if you don't like move or like shake it up, because you can hear that they're going to be training us on. This is going to be kind of a stunt slash. I'm kind of praying to God, because they ended up getting a 10-1, which means that they have a 26 whenever they go to fire at him as he's coming out of the office, and so.
Yeah, I'm happy to draw fire.
Yeah. Okay. So you can try and impede them. You've got the option because you're down on the ground floor and you know that they're going to be taking up that arm.
Question.
Yes.
The bots that the robo dogs, can he give them commands like even while they're out? Because right now they're just dodging. Maybe he can have them attack.
He can probably reissue them. I believe. Do they have comm link with you? I'd imagine they would.
As I said to Ken, I wrote the rules and I didn't write them very clearly, so
so single command only. They're going to just keep doing their thing as a distraction.
We're
going to hold there.
What it says is summon 1 to 3 Cyberwolf drones, 5 hit points. Claw is 5 damage. Bite is 8 damage. That's basically what I wrote. There.
Okay, good enough. So they're going to
Not
keep doing their
sophisticated.
distraction thing, and they will attempt to try and obstruct them, but like I said, you know that that's the case. Okay, so basically this is a clash. You're going to try to attack them while they're attacking a different target. So, that's up to you. However you wish to issue said attack or how you wish to do that, go for it. You'll be able to clear the distance to get to them if you wanted to close distance, because you have more than enough speed to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go after whatever's trying to take out K.
Yeah, so you have, so to your left, closest to the wall, there's at least one heavy. There's one heavy that's there, that's got line of sight on K. You have multiple targets between you and him, upwards of 3 at the most. You haven't seen them all, but your sense of smell is indicating that there's a lot of, fear, smoke, dust. It's hard to really get a read because of all the extraneous, olfactory distractions.
Yeah.
So, if you beeline it, you can probably take them off. But like I said, you'll have to charge the heavy probably, as it will likely try to account for K's position. And K, I don't need a dodge roll, please.
Okay.
So
Okay,
and
the damage I
Scott,
took earlier did reduce
yeah, go
my-
ahead and make your attack as well, because you're basically attacking at the same time they are in order to block, distract their shot or change their line of fire.
Okay, so I'll go who's close. I'm not the most sophisticated of thinkers
Oh,
during this
Nope.
mode, so I'm going to
That gif is great.
what's closest. If it drops to the next thing, that's kind of my
Yeah, you're doing a bull rush run. Yeah.
16.
24.
So yeah, 16 dodge for K.
Okay, 16.
And then 24 attack for my first attack, and then
See what your next one is.
a botch for the second
Ooh.
attack. So I'll spend 2 luck to make that
Just
not a
boost
botch.
it. Yep. So 22 then. Or 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy your rolls are so high, even with a botch.
Well, that's because he's fully transformed.
That's
Okay.
how scary it is.
Yep. Question is do they change their direction here? Oh. Okay. So you got a 16, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so they launch a volley of gunfire while Scott attempts to attack and distract them in the midst of this. Meanwhile, Juno and Gordon says,
I'm here. Where is everybody?
yeah. So, yeah, like I said, they just unleash a volley. They are, pounding it down. In this case, how is it that you were trying to get down the stairwell? Are you running down it? You gliding down the railing? How are you planning to do it? Are you just jumping off the landing? How do you want to do that?
Let's see if I got the geometry of the place right. The office is up here, and then to the right, coming out of the office to my left, where the stairwell is. That's where there's some carnage and dead bodies there, left in the wake
Yeah.
of.
On the
getting
stairwell, there's just a
happened.
lot of gore, yeah.
Actually, because of that, I might not want to try and walk. Blood could be a.
Well, you're not going to be walking nowhere. You're going to be running your ass off, so...
I don't
Like
think
the railing.
How far down is it? Because I might just jump down.
Because
from the rail down.
Well, in this case, straight down, you're looking at maybe 35 feet, because the landing is up at a certain point. It's kind of up there. So,
That'd be a lot.
it would, but he's also a cyborg. He's reinforced.
Do you have cyborg legs?
I don't
I have
know.
one leg replaced. But I think maybe what I'll do is go down the rail, but basically holding onto it from the left hand side while I'm going down with my gun on the hand, and then when I get low enough, I wouldn't slide all the way down. I'd just drop.
Okay, so you're basically just gonna go I'm gonna slide down these steps, then hurl over the railing at a halfway point to make sure you don't hit ground too hard. That's
What I'm thinking is I'm gonna grab the railing and slide down like basically holding up my whole body. Because here's what I'm imagining. I turn the corner and I see the death, and
Yeah, you come out onto the landing, so there's the flat landing, and then there's a stairwell. The stairwell mashes right up against the wall, right? So you've got the wall side with the railing there, and then you have the open railing that's on the right. And that goes down at an angle, like this, until it reaches the ground floor.
Talk about, yeah.
So the open railing?
I think so. Because, like, what I was saying is that if I'm running down steps, if I'm like, like, there's blood and gore right there, and that would be so easy to. And I don't.
Yeah, like I said, you could probably like slide down. I don't know if you've ever seen people do that, where they just like slide down steps, and then you could just brake stop before you actually hit the dead bodies, and then just roll over the railing at the halfway point, which would put you at like way less of a drop.
I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
you said it much faster than I did, but yes.
Yeah,
I'm trying to avoid the bodies and get out of the way.
Yeah, you just brake stop right before the bodies, and you just roll over the railing instead, because you're just gonna slide down doing that whole thing where you just like that, and then try to get her out of it. That makes sense. So, not quite like that. That's pretty legit. But yeah, okay. So you go sliding down that way. When you go to do the roll off, that's where things heat up, because suddenly you're hearing gunfire and there's just a mess of noise and an explosion. Your ears are ringing and you feel yourself cut free of the stairwell. Now, you don't really have a sense of like damage yet, but you're just like, you're tumbling in air and then you finally hit ground. You land on the concrete below, but not on anything like terrible. But like I said, there is definitely a sense of being like dazed and having an issue. In this case, like, you had armor that covered your torso and not your legs, or?
Yeah. I had a like, what did I have on? MT Falcon 5 tactical gear, like around my chest. So that had 1d6 of armor and 6 resilience. Okay,
so roll on that. You're gonna roll your 1d6 plus 6.
If I landed on my right arm, I've got.
Yeah. So 1d6 plus 6. Let's see what you got. A 1d6 plus 6.
Oh, it's not daily. Roll. Eight.
Ooh, nice. Okay. So you take, like, obviously the secondary blast of what looks to be some kind of rocket. That's at least what it feels like. When you're pulling up that way, I just need a body essence check to pull past the, like, disorientation from, like, being half blown to pieces. So you end up taking, like, another 12 points of damage across the body. In, like, arms, legs, anywhere that was unprotected. The armor got the most of it and saved you from having, like, being hit at the organs or anything else. You're just having to deal with the secondary condition of being dazed at the same time.
Sure. You said 12 damage after the armor?
It's 12 damage right now. That's what the attack just did to you. Because the armor took care of 8 of it.
That's what I'm saying. So 12 after armor took care of the mitigation.
Correct.
Okay, let me add that to my thing here. Okay, and body essence check. Okay, so...
Is that dazed with a capital D, like a status effect?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or 5d10.
D.
So, when it comes to essence checks and penalties on health levels, do I just remove a dice per penalty?
Yeah, so what's your penalty now?
I'm at -2.
-2.
The penalty happens once you're in that level too, right?
Right, so what's your health level? What's the pain level of the health level you're in?
I don't know.
Well, you see your health, right? Well, how many, like, what's your hit points to the health level that you have points in that's not, what's the health level that you have your points in still? That isn't 0. Going from top down.
Yeah, so so if you had that one, it's -3.
Oh, wow, okay, so you're, like, how low are you? You're probably pretty down.
Yeah, I only have 7 health left.
Okay, so, yeah, you're gonna have to make it with 3 dice less.
Okay.
That's the original, the way that was set up. It's an 8.
Okay. 8. And then fail 1. I got 1 success.
Okay. I believe that should be enough in this
You only
instance.
have a bot of 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So you actually managed to pull out of being dazed, but you are a hurting unit.
Yeah.
So you get yourself up onto your feet and start making your way there. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break from that as you're getting yourself back together again and collected. You happen to notice that right before we go to this, Scott, you see him get blasted off the steps, right? You don't know if he's dead or alive yet, but, I mean, you managed to knock down a few opponents on the way there, and then there's kind of a snag, as I think you ended up getting, you just rolled low. So there was, a couple of people that you managed.
24 and a 21.
Which is way higher than they ever rolled anyway, but in this case, so there are 2 targets that you managed to take down on the way over, and then you happen to notice that Kay is knocked loose from the stairs in an explosion. You don't know if he's dead or alive, but, like I said, the situation right now is that they did not take their aim off, but they change direction the second the explosion goes off, and he's up the railing.
Okay.
So you'll have to figure out where you're going to go from there. But, Gordonson, the fight is raging, and you've pulled into the storage bay and have taken cover. I don't know if did you end up dropping down into the hole completely, or were you just staying in the storage room?
Yep. Down the hole.
Okay. In that sense, you realize that you're down here. You're not getting any kind of reverb back from anybody. You've left comms if it was done or not. Static. Nobody's responding yet.
No, he tried to be the big distraction and to bring all the pain towards him.
Yeah, at this point,
You
it sounds
took
like
a lot of pain.
yeah, you've definitely taken some heat. Some of the damage is definitely showing, especially on the back of your mech. But your crew has not come down and they're not responding.
It's like judo.
Yeah, it's like, hi.
Damage analysis.
It goes through a procedural documentation of what is happening. The back armor plating is heavily damaged. It's still serviceable. The left apparatus and firearm is actually in kind of a danger zone, but still operable. It just has a risk of jamming or breaking. But you have full mobility at this time. No system failure.
It's like, are they pursuing?
It's you can get some of the motion that's up there. There are targets that are close by, and so it looks like they are splitting based on the information you have. They have some that are coming towards where you came in, and some that are headed towards the stairwell. They've split their forces. They did not come to attack you directly all together.
All right, judo.
What is that Red Dwarf? What is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just judo. Let's make some noise.
And again, you get the, you okay? Like that, she jumps out of the hole that you guys had just jumped into. And so, what's the strat? As you come barreling out of there again.
Make some noise.
Are you planning on just shooting in random directions or picking targets? What's the actual plan?
Picking
Or
targets.
just blasting music.
Well, blasting music at the same time, going. He's trying to communicate to his companions, going. Get the data you need. You're gonna get the traction you need.
So
he's trying to communicate that, but at the same time, he's just trying to eliminate targets.
okay, so when you come out to do your attack, you have two heavy combat rigs on your 1 to 2 o'clock if you were to come out from the broken part of the front of the storage room. Okay, and then you've got multiple targets that are dead at your 12 o'clock, and you have some that are kind of moving around, but it's hard to tell because there's a lot of destruction and debris that way onto your left. So there's possible hostiles that are going to be more to your 9 and 10 o'clock. But your biggest threats, 12, 1 and 2.
Okay, he's going to focus on 1 and 2. And what remaining rockets he has, he's going to fire off.
Okay. See, 1 rocket per target or 2 rockets, 1 target?
One rocket per target.
Okay.
We need it for roll.
I just need you to go ahead and do your heavy like before. It's going to be a 13 plus D10.
Okay, so just a D10. Yay.
Oh man, you got this. Come on. You got this, dude. You got this. I'm actually genuinely worried for you guys' lives right now.
D19. 7.
Okay, so that would put you at a 20, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You punch it and manage to surprise them somehow, because the heavy combat rigs don't actually manage to make it out of the way before the 2 rockets are launched. They fire from your forward weapons array towards the front and hit their targets both squarely.
As blared loudly was, "You're tight!"
Yeah, so, because you're actually getting to the gun part of the song, and to anyone when they're just firing the rifles. So you got those popped off, and you still have guns on your right arm with a fair amount of ammunition if you wanted to let off a volley there, because she can do these things at once.
And volleys off the rifles to the secondary targets.
Okay, so you start spraying into the larger crowd of what seem to be the security forces.
Yes. 1d10 plus what?
It's a 1d10 plus 13. God damn, dude. Okay, so you start spraying again. There's more gunfire. Alright, so to your relief, Scott, as things are kind of looking a little bit bleak as they had originally started taking you into training, training on you with their weapons, rather, you suddenly just hear another cacophonous noise coming from the storage room as more explosions and a lot more buzzsawing gunfire just ripple out. There are people screaming to your right, trying to take cover, and a lot of the shrapnel and gunfire is just ripping through a lot of heavy equipment. But you can now either choose to go forward or check up on Kay. It's up to you. Or leave. Obviously you got all those options.
Yeah, my plan is to evacuate.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run toward Kay.
Okay.
Scoop him up. And head to extraction mode.
Okay.
And I should have the speed that I can grab and get Gordon Shun out. Like, we're going.
Yep. So at this point, you charge back. So, okay, you're like, like pushing yourself up. There is smoke, debris. Your ears are ringing, so everything sounds dead, but the ringing is painful, right? So you're just dealing with the fact that the explosion went off. You're kind of getting a visual work of what's happening right now. When out of the billowing smoke and dust, you sneeze. When out of the billowing smoke and dust, you've got this werewolf creature barreling through it to get to where your location is. Now you recognize him immediately as being, Gideon, but he's charging you at rampant speeds. You're a little sluggish, and he goes kind of curls low in the middle of the run. Not like he's going to slash, but like he's just going to nab you. So you kind of get the implied meaning.
I'll lean into that. Yeah.
Yeah. And because you only have a split second to really react, so it's not like you're like, oh, it's like, shit, fine. The only thing that I want, because this is kind of an interesting maneuver, I I'm trying to think if I want this to be. It's not going to be mobility. I think I just want
Good
like
grapple.
yeah, it's basically that. Can we get like just a body essence check real fast to see how much? Oh Jesus, how much flair you got in there? I forgot that he did that.
For me, body essence.
Yeah, just to see if you can like snag his weight without damaging him, all that fun business. Let's see what you got.
He fails and just rips me in half.
Superman catching Lois, right? Just 3 equal
Yeah.
pieces. Target 8.
Ooh, boy, you make that look
Oh, you
good.
You're gonna explode too.
Yeah. Okay.
Either way, 3 successes is hot. So he scoops you up in a perfect near fireman's carry just in a mid-run.
It's a princess carry.
Yeah, more or less. It's kind of like that, but he's going
was
to
gonna
gather
say,
you
it's
up
gonna be
like this
pretty
so that he can run, because he's got to be able to do that. So you're like, it's the over-the-shoulder boulder holder style. Like,
If I can, then I have the wherewithal. I'll just shoot randomly behind him.
yeah, I mean, if you see targets, you can definitely do that. Of course, I'm not going to give you any bonuses for that crap, but yeah.
I'm more dazed. Like,
Yeah, he's at a full sprint, so he's going to be running straight across. I'm only going to make like a per chance like single opportunity fire from one of these guys. And can I just get like a dodge from you there, Scott? Just your normal, no bonus, no penalty, just
Yeah.
a dodge.
I'm not trying to dodge, right? I'm just running. So
Yeah, this is just the passive side of dodging to see if their shot can like hit that moving target as well. It's just going to give me a basis of comparison. That would be a no. That'd be a fuck no. Like,
So a 30 dodge.
you're so fast.
I mean that's really is how I'm viewing it. Is that what are we saying a turn is? 3 seconds.
yeah, I like the official is going to be 5 still, but I think I like it at 3 just because of how quick it is. It's so nice.
So I'm moving at 20 meters.
Yeah,
per
so
second,
yeah, it's
which is 44 miles per hour.
yeah, you're hauling ass.
So
Yep, hauling ass. So you are like in a car now. Except for it's jumping and diving and doing all kinds of crazy maneuvers.
Are
Okay, so you're standing there at your exit point there, Bill. You just let off the rockets, you just let off the gunfire. The heavy rigs are beginning to retrain and they're going to take another volley at you. Well, you see, like, Gideon and carrying Kay over his shoulder, and Kay looks messed up. Like, Kay looks really messed up. But they are coming flying through and actually get to the entry point because the width of the warehouse was not nearly as long as the actual length of it. So crossing the halfway point makes it possible for him to get there. But they barrel past you. So you can make your retreat. Yeah.
At which point he just unleashes everything.
Okay. Full volley and you're going to clash. Okay. Well, let's see what you got there, buddy.
So they're behind him.
Yeah.
And he wants
Out of the way, and you're just going to let off everything. The last missiles, all of your, like, as much ammunition in a single round.
So he can go disappear.
Yep.
Smoke screen.
Okay. Explosive screen.
Oh, dude.
What do you mean to roll?
It's the same as before. It's your heavy, which is the 13 baseline, and a d10.
Yeah, so 19.
Oh, dude, you matched him up. So they go running past you. These heavy rigs, they're armored, boosted. Weapons go
run away
like that. Yeah, they all train that direction. Some of them like hopping up onto the equipment and things like that to get higher angles. And you're just sort of like, Death Star, like, and go like the two missiles launch off and you just start unloading with both arms. They go to fire back and then immediately start ducking and moving as you're right there with them. The clash being the same thing. Defenders winning ties in this instance. Them being the defenders only because of the fact they were just a hair slower. But, I mean, they get the hell out of the way as you just unload. You're watching the numbers just going like that as it's dropping down. Roll me a percentage one more time.
100.
Yeah, D100. We're checking for system failure.
Oh. Yeah. God.
The whole world.
$14 KB a second.
Okay.
You got a 5?
Oh, no.
Wait.
Why did he add 5?
No, he rolled a D10 plus 100.
Yeah, like, no, it's a D100, my bro. So, in other words, your whole mech just blows the fuck up. That's what that
Oh
is.
no. I roll another D10.
I want that one. Why can't I have that one?
You want your mech to blow up? Like, just remember, percentile rolls have to be lower is better.
Yeah, that's why I was like, when I saw the 5 at first, I was like, Jesus Christ. But then I saw the plus 100, and I was like, wait.
Yeah, wait. Uh-huh.
It's a 1D100.
And that's it. Just a D100.
You just hear a countdown in Korean.
19, okay. You managed to
D19.
unload you get half your payload of both of your guns shriveled down, and then you're able to drop back, and the left arm and the left apparatus manages to sustain without being broken. And then you can make your retreat. And they are going to be recovering from that covering fire. So you basically swivel and start heading down into the hole. That is where I think we are going to hold it for this one, because you managed to get in, get out, and download some information, and go from there. Holy shit.
I can't believe it.
I can't either. They just happened, like, seriously, I was scared that one of you was going to die, or more of you. Like, that was so freaking foolhardy, man. Like, the dice were nice, and then they tried to kill you.
Like, okay, so having now played Werewolf in combat as Werewolf a couple of times, it's not a gimme, but man, when it hits, it hits.
Yeah.
It is a freight train of fur and claws, and it feels good.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I don't mean it feels good, like it feels accurate. Like,
Right.
Like, not discongruous. Whatever, right?
Yeah.
Incongruous. Yeah. And I didn't take any hits, so I can't say, like...
Yeah, you managed to
Like-
juke that one out. I think Kay got the absolute worst out of everybody.
Absolutely.
I was one spray shot from being dead.
Yeah, there's
You
that.
need a cool trench coat, man.
Yeah, but Gordonson's mech is going to need repairs, which is going to be an interesting problem to solve because it got blasted. Like, he's not physically injured, but his mech is not great right at the moment.
Yeah. That's good downtime, right? We've wanted to work the repair element of downtime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kay's armor got hit, right? Like,
Yep.
So that's a cool...
Definitely will be more armored next time.
Yeah, that went great. I felt that the combat in that sense was very fluid. I had to come up with a couple of things on the fly, but that was easy. So far, so good.
And we all survived, which again is
I'm
incredible.
a little shocked, actually. I really kind of like, well, the way that was panning out, I was like, somebody's gonna die. I can feel it. Like,
I mean, I thought when Gordonson decided to call judo and run backwards, I was like, oh, there it is.
yeah, I thought it was him too. But
He
then
got
again,
down.
he wiped all of his luck out just to make it through that. Oh,
Taking
crap.
notes for next time that I
Yeah.
remember. Oh yeah, I'm still wolf mode, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna chew out Mortensen. I'll forget, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so in theory, I just did a quick Googling. I was like, if I can move 45 miles an hour in a straight line, someone throwing a knife after me wouldn't hit me.
Yeah.
A javelin, yes. There's a chance. A javelin, by an Olympian javelin thrower, they can hit
Okay.
70 miles an hour
Sure.
with a thrown javelin. But a throwing knife typically tops out around 40 miles an hour.
That would be wild to see somebody's like, oh, and you're like, yeah, like that. Just
Yeah, like it's just like I'm like gaining on it.
Here's the thing: is that all I can hear is the Dune, the soul blade kills.
Oh man. Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Getting thrown off by Shai Hulud's toothpick.
Ugh. Okay,
Okay.
well,
That was pretty freaking epic, and we had a lot of people in here watching this stuff. That was a lot of fun.
did we?
Yeah.
Yeah. We still got people
the whole
watching
time.
right now, as a matter of fact. And we appreciate it.
Some
We are-
old guys playing some game.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
in the heart.
But
It's all relative, right?
yep.
It's all relative.
But yeah, I figured that I will bid them adieu and all the rest of that stuff, wrap this up, and I still plan on doing more streaming myself, so we're gonna do a lot more. But this was a lot of fun. Thanks everybody who's watching. I appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next round. It'll probably be me by my lonesome playing some games, but we'll see you there.